I was staring at a text message meant for someone else when my entire world collapsed. Can't wait to feel you inside me again. Tyler's working late Thursday. Come over at 8. The message glowed on my wife Amanda's laptop screen, sitting open on our kitchen counter. I'd only walked over to close it. She'd left for her morning yoga class 10 minutes ago, and I was heading out to my construction site. But there it was, bright and damning in the iMessage app she'd forgotten to close. My hand trembled as I reached for my phone. Screenshot. The evidence burned into my camera roll with a soft click. My heart hammered so hard I could feel it in my throat. I read it again. And again. Tyler. That was me. I was Tyler. Tyler Brennan, 34 years old, owner of Brennan Custom Homes in Charlotte, North Carolina. Married to Amanda Brennan for 7 years. Father to 5-year-old Emma and 3-year-old Jake. Or at least, I thought I was those things 5 minutes ago. The sender's name sat at the top of the conversation. Kevin Walsh. Kevin. Kevin Walsh. The name rattled around my skull like a pinball. I knew that name. Amanda's colleague from the marketing firm where she worked as a senior account manager. The guy she'd mentioned casually over the past 6 months. Kevin suggested this campaign idea. Kevin and I grabbed lunch to discuss the Riverside account. Kevin thinks we should pitch the client differently. Kevin thought a lot of things, apparently. My fingers moved on autopilot, scrolling up through their conversation. The messages went back months. Months. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you. I've never felt this alive. What we have is real, Amanda. I know you're scared to leave him, but we deserve to be happy. That last one was from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, when Amanda and I had celebrated our 7th anniversary at that Italian place downtown. When she'd smiled at me across the table, touched my hand, told me she loved me. When we'd come home and made love while my mother watched the kids overnight. I gripped the counter to steady myself. The granite felt cold and solid under my palms. The same granite Amanda and I had picked out together when we renovated this kitchen 3 years ago. I'd installed it myself, working nights and weekends to save money. She'd brought me coffee and kissed my dusty forehead, called me her handsome contractor. How long had I been the fool? I checked my watch. 7:47 a.m. Amanda would be gone for another hour. Her yoga class ran until 8:30. Then she usually grabbed coffee with her friend Jessica. The kids were at my mom's house. She'd taken them for a sleepover last night because Amanda had claimed she needed to decompress after a stressful week at work. Stressful. Right. I looked back at the laptop. Keep going, Tyler. You need to know everything. I scrolled further, my stomach churning with each message. Photos loaded. Nothing explicit, thank God, but intimate enough. Amanda in lingerie I'd never seen. Amanda at a restaurant I didn't recognize. Amanda laughing in someone's car, the photo taken from the driver's seat. Then I found the planning messages. Tyler's taking the kids to his mother's Friday night. We'll have the whole evening. That was from 3 weeks ago. The night she'd said she had a girls' night with her book club. I'd taken Emma and Jake to Mom's, spent the evening there helping her fix a leaky faucet, came home around 11 to find Amanda already in bed, supposedly exhausted from too much wine. He has no idea. He's so wrapped up in his projects, he barely notices anything anymore. That one hit different. Was that true? Had I been neglectful? I worked hard, sure. Building a business from the ground up meant long hours, early mornings, late nights. But I always made time for family dinners. I coached Emma's soccer team. I did bath time and bedtime stories. I thought I was being a good husband, a good father. Apparently, I'd been blind instead. My phone buzzed in my hand, making me jump. A text from Amanda. Forgot my laptop. Don't let the kids mess with it if they come home early. Love you. Love you. I stared at those two words until they stopped meaning anything. Another buzz. Also, can you pick up milk? We're almost out. The casual domesticity of it made me want to throw the phone across the room. Instead, I took another screenshot of the conversation on her laptop, then another, then another. I photographed everything. The messages, the photos, the dates, the times, evidence. I'd need evidence. I'd built my business on attention to detail, on measuring twice and cutting once, on getting the foundation right before building anything on top of it. Those same instincts kicked in now, overriding the shock and rage that threatened to overwhelm me. Document everything. Tell no one. Figure out your next move. I opened her email next, my hand steadier now. If she'd left her messages open, maybe she'd stayed logged into everything else too. She had. Her Gmail sat open, years of correspondence waiting. I searched Kevin Walsh. 47 results. I started reading, my jaw clenching tighter with each email. Hotel reservations. Plans for a weekend trip to Asheville. A trip that had happened last month when Amanda told me she was going to a marketing conference. Discussions about their future together. Kevin asking when she was going to tell me. Amanda saying she needed more time, that she had to figure out the right approach, that she didn't want to hurt the kids. The kids. Our kids. My vision blurred. I blinked hard, forcing the tears back. Not yet. I couldn't fall apart yet. I needed a plan. I'm still sitting at the kitchen counter when I hear it. Amanda's on the back deck. I didn't even notice her come home, didn't hear the garage door or her footsteps. She must have slipped in while I was in the bathroom, splashing cold water on my face, trying to pull myself together. Her voice drifts through the sliding glass door, which she's left cracked open. She's speaking rapidly, animated. Not English. Portuguese. Amanda's first language, the one she speaks with her family in Brazil. Her parents, her sister Beatriz, her aunts and uncles. I've heard it my whole marriage, at family dinners, during video calls when her mom visits. Musical and fluid, rising and falling in rhythms I've never understood. She thinks I don't speak Portuguese. Never have. I let her believe that for 7 years. The truth is more complicated. My grandmother on my mother's side was Brazilian, from São Paulo. She lived with us when I was a kid, spoke Portuguese to me every day until she died when I was 12. I understood everything. Could speak it pretty well too back then. But when I met Amanda at that networking event 8 years ago, she assumed I was just another monolingual American. And I never corrected her. It felt like having a secret window into her world, hearing her unfiltered with her family. I told myself it was harmless, that I'd tell her eventually. Eventually never came. Now I'm frozen at the counter, laptop closed, phone in my hand with 47 screenshots saved, listening to my wife speak in the language she thinks is private. No, Bia, ele não sabe nada. No, Bia, he doesn't know anything. My Portuguese is rusty. 7 years of not speaking it, just listening. But I understand enough. Eu sei que é arriscado, Amanda continues. I know it's risky. Mas o Tyler está sempre trabalhando. Ele nem percebe quando eu saio. But Tyler is always working. He doesn't even notice when I leave. My hand tightens around the phone. Sim, eu sei. Yes, I know. A pause. Quinta-feira à noite. O Tyler vai trabalhar até tarde, então? Thursday night. When I'm supposedly working late. When Kevin's message said they'd meet. Bia, para. Amanda's voice drops, becomes sharper. Bia, stop. Não é assim. Eu amo o Tyler, você sabe disso. It's not like that. I love Tyler, you know that. The words should comfort me. They don't. É só complicado. It's just complicated. O Kevin entende coisas que o Tyler não entende. Sobre o meu trabalho, sobre... Kevin understands things that Tyler doesn't understand. About my work, about... She breaks off. I hear her pacing, the deck boards creaking. No, ainda não decidi. No, I haven't decided yet. Eu preciso de mais tempo para pensar. I need more time to think. Decided what? Whether to leave me? Whether to keep screwing Kevin? E o outro homem? Beatrice's voice is faint through the phone, but I catch it. And the other man? My blood turns to ice. The other man. Not Kevin. Another man. Bia, eu já te disse, isso acabou faz meses. Bia, I already told you, that ended months ago. Foi só uma vez, foi erro. It was only once. It was a mistake. Only once. A mistake. There was someone before Kevin. I'm on my feet without realizing it. The stool scrapes against the floor, loud enough that Amanda pauses mid-sentence. Espera. Wait. Her voice is cautious now. You ouvi alguma coisa? I heard something. I force myself to move, to walk toward the front of the house like I just came in. I grab my keys from the bowl by the door, jangle them. Amanda? I call out. My voice sounds normal, steady. That you? Tyler? She switches to English instantly, seamlessly. Yeah, I'm out here, just talking to my sister. I walk through the kitchen, slide open the glass door. Amanda's standing by the railing, phone pressed to her ear, yoga mat bag slung over her shoulder. She's wearing black leggings and a purple tank top, hair pulled back in a ponytail. She looks exactly like she always does after yoga. Flushed, relaxed, beautiful. Hey, Bia, I say, waving at the phone. Tell her I said hi. Amanda's smile doesn't quite reach her eyes. Tyler says hi, she says in English, then adds something in Portuguese I don't catch. Okay, I have to go. Love you. Bye. She ends the call, slips the phone into her bag. How was your morning? Fine. I lean against the door frame, studying her face. Looking for tells, for cracks in the mask. Just caught up on some paperwork. You? Good class. Really needed it. She stretches her arms over her head. Casual, easy. I'm going to shower. Want me to make lunch after? Sure. She walks past me, close enough that I smell her perfume. The same perfume she's worn for years. Jasmine and something citrus. It used to make me crazy. Now it makes me sick. I wait until I hear the shower running upstairs. Then I pull out my phone, open the voice recorder app I activated when I heard her speaking Portuguese. I got it all. Every word. I play it back, listening to her voice discuss Thursday night, discuss Kevin, discuss the other man who came before Kevin. The affair. Before the affair I just discovered an hour ago. How many have there been? My hands are shaking again. I force them steady, forward the recording to my email, to the cloud, to 3 different backup locations. Then I delete it from my phone's main storage, bury it in a hidden folder. Evidence. Document everything. I'm learning. The shower shuts off upstairs. I have maybe 10 minutes before she comes down. I open my laptop again, pull up her email, search for anything from before Kevin. Before 6 months ago. I'm looking for names, for patterns, for anything that might tell me who the other man was. There. 8 months ago. An email thread with someone named David Pacheco. Work-related on the surface, discussing a client presentation. But the tone shifts halfway through. Casual mentions of coffee, a lunch meeting. Then, looking forward to Friday. My place, 7? Amanda's response. Can't wait. 3 emails later. This was a mistake. We work together. It can't happen again. David's reply. You're right. I'm sorry. Let's keep this professional. And they did. Every email after that is purely professional. Cordial, but distant. It ended, just like she told Beatrice. Months ago. But it happened. I screenshot everything, add it to my growing collection. 47 becomes 53. 53 pieces of evidence that my marriage is a lie. Tyler? Amanda's voice from the stairs. I close the laptop, slip my phone into my pocket. Yeah? She appears in the kitchen, hair damp, wearing jeans and a soft gray sweater. I was thinking we could go to the farmer's market this afternoon. Get stuff for dinner. Maybe take the kids to the park after we pick them up? The kids. Emma and Jake still at my mom's house, blissfully unaware that their world is about to implode. Sounds good, I hear myself say. She smiles, walks to the fridge, pulls out ingredients for sandwiches. Turkey, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes. The same lunch we've had 100 Saturday mornings. I watch her move through our kitchen, humming softly to herself. She's relaxed now, comfortable. She thinks she's safe. Thinks I'm oblivious Tyler, always working, never noticing when she slips away. Thinks I don't understand Portuguese. Bia sounded good, I say casually. Everything okay with her? Amanda glances up. Yeah, she's fine. Just the usual family drama. You know how it is. I don't know how it is. Because I don't understand Portuguese, remember? She asked about us? Of course. Amanda spreads mayo on bread, not looking at me. She always does. I told her we're great. Are we? She freezes for half a second. Then continues making the sandwich. What do you mean? I mean, are we great? You seem stressed lately, distracted. Work's been crazy. She cuts the sandwich diagonally, sets it on a plate. You know how demanding my job is. Demanding? Right. Kevin's demanding. David was demanding. Maybe you should take some time off, I suggest. We could go somewhere, just us. My mom could watch the kids. She brings the plate to me, sets it down. That's sweet. But I can't right now. We're in the middle of a huge campaign launch. Of course she can't. She has plans Thursday night. I take a bite of the sandwich. It tastes like cardboard. Tyler. She's watching me now, eyes narrowed slightly. Are you okay? You're acting weird. Just tired. Didn't sleep well. Bad dreams? You could say that. Something like that. She reaches out, touches my hand. Her fingers are cool and soft. You work too hard. Maybe you should take some time off. The irony would be funny if it didn't make me want to put my fist through the wall. Maybe, I say. My phone buzzes. A text from my lawyer, Brian Sutton. I'd sent him a message an hour ago, marked urgent. Available Monday, 9 a.m. Bring everything. I slip the phone back in my pocket. Who was that? Amanda asks. Work thing, nothing important. She nods, satisfied, turns back to make her own sandwich. I have until Monday to decide how to play this, how to protect Emma and Jake, how to protect myself. But first, I have to get through the rest of this weekend. Have to smile at the farmer's market, push the kids on swings, sit across from Amanda at dinner and pretend I don't know. Pretend I don't understand. I'm good at pretending. 7 years of practice. The weekend stretches ahead like a minefield. I'm sitting in my truck outside the house, engine off, hands gripping the steering wheel. It's 4:47 p.m. Friday. Amanda gets home in an hour. I've spent the day at the Riverside project site, going through the motions, reviewing framing with my crew while my mind churned through everything I know. Everything she doesn't know I know. The recording from this morning sits in my phone. 43 seconds of Portuguese that confirms what the messages already told me. But there's that phrase again. O outro homem. The other man. Not David. Someone else. How many? I force myself to breathe. To think like a contractor. You don't demolish a structure without understanding what you're tearing down. You don't know what you're dealing with until you've done the full inspection. My phone buzzes. Amanda. Running late. Meeting went long. Home by 6:30. Can you grab the kids? I stare at the message. Is there actually a meeting? Or is she with Kevin right now, squeezing in time before the weekend locks her down with her family? Got them. No problem. 3 words. Normal. Unremarkable. I start the truck and head to my mother's place. Emma barrels into my legs the second I walk through the door. Daddy, Vovo made cookies. The Portuguese word for grandma hits different now. My mother, Maria Brennan, née Silva, taught me the language when I was Emma's age. Amanda knows this technically. She's heard me say maybe a dozen words over the years. Basic stuff. Obrigado. Thank you. Tudo bem? How are you? She thinks that's the extent of it. She has no idea I grew up bilingual, that I spent every summer until I was 12 in Sao Paulo with my grandmother, that I can understand every word she says to Beatrice. Tyler. My mother appears from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. Her eyes do that thing they've done since I was a kid, cutting straight through whatever face I'm wearing. You look terrible. Long week? It's Friday. Jake toddles over clutching a cookie, chocolate smeared across his face. I scoop him up, inhale his little kid smell. Innocence. Trust. How do I protect them from what's coming? Can the kids stay here tonight? The words come out before I fully thought them through. My mother's eyebrows rise. It's Friday night. Don't you and Amanda usually? She's tired. Work's been stressful. I thought we could have a quiet evening. The lie tastes like ash. But my mother just nods slowly, studying my face. Of course, they can stay. She pauses. Tyler, if something's wrong, everything's fine, Mun. She doesn't believe me, but she doesn't push. That's the thing about my mother. She knows when to wait. I kiss both kids goodbye, promise Emma will go to the park tomorrow, and drive home through rush hour traffic with my thoughts spiraling. Quiet evening. Right. What I actually need is time. Time to search the house properly. Time to see what else Amanda's hiding in places she thinks are safe. I'm in the home office when Amanda gets home at 6:45. Tyler? Her voice floats up the stairs. Warm, affectionate. Up here, finishing some paperwork. She appears in the doorway, still in her work clothes. Gray pencil skirt, white blouse. Professional. Polished. The woman I married. The woman who's been sleeping with at least 2 other men. Where are the kids? Moms. Thought we could use a night off. I keep my eyes on the computer screen, on the absolutely real invoice I'm reviewing. You've been stressed. She crosses to me, wraps her arms around my shoulders from behind. I feel her breath on my neck. That's sweet. I have been stressed. Kevin. She means Kevin. The stress of maintaining a double life. Why don't you take a bath? Relax. I'll order dinner. You're the best. She kisses my cheek. Ty? Whatever you want. She disappears toward the bedroom. I hear the bathroom door close, water running. I have maybe 45 minutes. I start with her nightstand. The drawer slides open silently. I installed these glides myself, made sure everything in this house worked perfectly. Lotion. Chapstick. A novel with a bookmark halfway through. Nothing. I move to her dresser. Underwear drawer first. Cliché. But people hide things in obvious places because they think no one will actually look. Beneath the neat stacks of cotton and lace, my fingers find paper. A card. Hotel key card from the Dunhill in Uptown Charlotte. No date, but it's recent. The magnetic strip still looks fresh. I photograph it. Add it to the folder. There's more. A receipt folded small, shoved in the back corner. Dinner at Fin and Fino. $240. March 15th. I was at a job site in Gastonia that night. She said she was having dinner with her college friend Rachel. I photographed the receipt. My hands are steady. That's the strange part. I thought I'd be shaking, furious, breaking things. But I'm calm, clinical. Every piece of evidence is another nail, another measurement, another component of the case I'm building. The bathroom water shuts off. I close the drawer exactly as I found it and move back to the office. Over pad thai and spring rolls, Amanda talks about her week, a difficult client, office politics, her boss Jeremy being unreasonable about deadlines. She doesn't mention Kevin. How was your week? She twirls noodles around her fork, looking at me with those green eyes I used to get lost in. Busy. The Riverside project's moving fast. Should be ready for drywall next week. That's the big one, right? The custom build? Yeah, 5,000 square feet. Client wants everything perfect. Like you, she smiles. You always want everything perfect. The irony is a knife between my ribs. Just doing my job right. I take a drink of water. Hey, random question. You still doing book club next Thursday? Her fork pauses, just for a second. Oh, actually Jessica canceled. Work thing came up for her? That's too bad. Yeah, I might just stay in, catch up on sleep. The lie comes so easily, so smoothly. She's going to Kevin's. I know the address now, found it in an email. Apartment in Dilworth. Thursday at 8. You work too hard, I say, says the man who's on job sites at 6 a.m. Someone's got to pay for all this. I gesture around our kitchen, our home. The life I built with my own hands. The life she's been destroying while I was busy building it. Later, in bed, she curls against me. Her hand traces patterns on my chest. Tyler? Yeah? I love you. You know that, right? The words should hurt. They should cut deep. Instead, I feel nothing. Just that same cold clarity. I know. I kiss the top of her head. Love you too. She falls asleep within minutes, her breathing evening out, completely at peace. I lie awake in the dark, staring at the ceiling, planning. Monday I meet with the lawyer. That's step 1. Get legal advice, understand my options, make sure I'm protected, make sure the kids are protected. But there's still the question of the other man. Not Kevin. Not David. Who else? I need to search her laptop more thoroughly. Her phone if I can get to it. There are gaps in the timeline, periods where the messages go quiet, where she's careful. Those gaps mean something. My phone is on the nightstand, recording app ready. If she makes another call to Beatrice, I'll catch it. If she slips up anywhere, I'll catch it. Because that's what I do. I'm a builder. I understand structures, foundations, how things fit together, and I understand how to take them apart piece by piece until there's nothing left but rubble. Amanda shifts in her sleep, murmuring something I can't make out. I close my eyes and wait for morning. Saturday dawns gray and cold. November in Charlotte. That in-between season where you're not sure if you need a jacket. I'm up before Amanda, making coffee, scrolling through my phone. The folder of screenshots has grown to 73 images. 73 pieces of evidence. Still not enough. I need complete documentation. Every affair, every lie, every betrayal. The lawyer will want details. Dates. Names. Evidence that's irrefutable. Amanda appears in yoga pants and a sweatshirt, hair pulled back. Morning. You're up early. Couldn't sleep. Thinking about the Riverside project. You and that project. She pours coffee. When's it due to finish? End of January if everything stays on schedule. Will it? If I can keep the subs in line, weather cooperates, usual stuff. Normal conversation, normal Saturday morning. Except I'm watching her like she's a stranger, cataloging details, the way she checks her phone while the coffee brews, the small smile when she reads something. Is that Kevin? Is she texting him right now, 10 feet away from me? I'm picking up the kids at 10, I say. Thought we could take them to the science museum. Sounds good. I need to run some errands anyway. Errands. Right? What kind of errands? She glances up, something flickering in her expression. Just Target, grocery store, boring stuff. Want company? No, it's fine. You spend time with the kids. I'll meet you back here for lunch. She's going somewhere she doesn't want me to know about. Okay. I keep my voice light. Easy. Text me if you want me to grab anything. Will do. She disappears upstairs to get ready. I open the Find My app on my phone. Amanda's location services are on. We set it up years ago for safety, so we'd always know where each other and the kids were. She has no idea I'm about to start using it for something else entirely. I spend the next hour methodically going through Amanda's laptop, documenting everything I find. The kids are at my mother's house until Sunday evening, giving me 2 full days to search without interruption. Amanda thinks I'm working on bids for new projects. She's in the living room watching some home renovation show, completely oblivious. I create a new folder on my phone labeled Tax Documents 2024 and fill it with screenshots. Anyone who glances at it would assume it's boring financial records. Instead, it's a catalog of my wife's betrayals. The deleted emails folder reveals more than I expected. Amanda's been careful, but not careful enough. She empties her trash regularly, but there are still messages from the past week. Most are work-related, but buried among them is an email exchange with someone named Lucas Ferreira. My stomach drops. The messages are in Portuguese. She wrote to him 3 days ago. Sinto sua falta. Foi erro terminar as coisas daquele jeito. I miss you. It was a mistake to end things that way. His response came within an hour. Você sabe onde me encontrar quando estiver pronta. Sempre estarei aqui para você. You know where to find me when you're ready. I'll always be here for you. Her reply. Não posso agora. As coisas estão complicadas. Mas penso em você. I can't right now. Things are complicated. But I think about you. The timestamp shows she sent this while I was reading bedtime stories to Emma and Jake. I was doing the voices for the 3 bears while my wife was in our bedroom telling another man she thinks about him. I screenshot everything, my hands steady despite the rage building in my chest. Lucas Ferreira. That's the other man Beatrice mentioned. Not someone from work. Someone from Amanda's past, probably from Brazil. The casual intimacy in their messages suggests they have history. Real history. I search her email for his name and find dozens of messages going back 5 years. 5 years. Most are innocent. Birthday wishes, holiday greetings, updates about mutual friends in São Paulo. But there are gaps in the timeline. Months where they didn't communicate at all, followed by sudden bursts of activity. One gap starts 2 years ago and lasts 8 months. The messages resume with Amanda writing, Desculpe por ter desaparecido. Precisei de tempo para pensar. Sorry for disappearing. I needed time to think. His response. Entendo. Você tem uma família. Eu respeito isso. Mas quando você veio me visitar em dezembro, pensei que talvez... I understand. You have a family. I respect that. But when you came to visit me in December, I thought maybe... She visited him? In December. 2 years ago. I pull up our family calendar from that year. December 2022. Amanda took a girls' trip to Miami with her college roommate Julia. 4 days, 3 nights. She came back relaxed and happy, brought me a t-shirt from South Beach, showed me photos of her and Julia at restaurants and on the beach. I search her email for flights. She's meticulous about keeping travel confirmations. There. American Airlines confirmation for December 14th, 2022. But the destination isn't Miami. São Paulo. Round trip, direct from Charlotte. She flew to Brazil while telling me she was in Florida. The return flight landed at 6:47 p.m. on December 18th. I picked her up at the airport at 8:30 p.m. She kissed me in the arrivals area, told me she missed me, asked about the kids. I remember that night. We had sex after the kids went to bed. She initiated it, told me the trip made her realize how much she loved our life together. I believed her. I always believed her. My vision blurs. I force the tears back. Keep documenting, Tyler. Feel it later. I screenshot the flight confirmation, the emails with Lucas, everything. Then I dig deeper into December 2022, looking for hotel confirmations, receipts, anything. There's a credit card statement. She used our joint card for the flight. I never checked the details, just saw American Airlines and assumed it was Miami. But she used a different card for everything else in Brazil. A card I didn't know she had. The statement is in her personal email, the one she uses for online shopping and subscription services. I've never had reason to look at it before. She probably didn't think I could read the Portuguese bank name in the sender address. Banco do Brasil. A Brazilian credit card issued to Amanda Brennan at an address in São Paulo. Our address is listed as secondary. The December 2022 statement shows charges at restaurants in São Paulo, a hotel in Jardins, rideshare services. The hotel charge is for 3 nights, room for 2. She maintained a relationship with Lucas for years. Flying to Brazil to see him, keeping a credit card I didn't know about, building an entire secret life in another language. The other man isn't Kevin or David or some random coworker. It's someone she's loved for years. Someone who knows her in ways I thought only I did. Someone who speaks her language, shares her culture, understands the parts of her that I, apparently, never could. I search for more recent statements from the Brazilian card. The last charge was 3 months ago. A restaurant in Charlotte called Sabor Brasileiro. Brazilian flavor. It's in the university area, about 30 minutes from our house. I look up the restaurant on Google. Small place, family-owned, authentic Brazilian cuisine. The kind of spot you'd only know about if you were Brazilian or connected to the community. Amanda told me she had dinner with her friend Jessica that night. Book club meeting. She came home at 10:30 p.m., complained about traffic, went straight to bed. Lucas Ferreira was in Charlotte 3 months ago. I'd bet everything I own on it. I'm about to search for more when I hear Amanda's footsteps on the stairs. I close the laptop, grab my phone, and pull up a Contractor Supply website just as she appears in the doorway. "Hey," she says, leaning against the door frame. "You've been up here for a while. Everything okay?" "Yeah, just finishing up some quotes." I gesture at the laptop. "Miller project is more complex than I thought." She nods, doesn't come closer. "I'm going to take a bath. Want to watch a movie after? We never get evenings alone anymore." The irony would be funny if it didn't make me want to put my fist through the wall. "Sure," I say. "Let me wrap this up." She smiles, that same smile I've loved for 7 years, and disappears down the hall. I hear the bathroom door close, the water start running. I have maybe 30 minutes while she soaks in the tub. I turn back to the laptop and search her messages for any mention of Lucas and Charlotte. Nothing in email. She's too smart for that now. But her phone might have something. Her iPhone is charging on her nightstand. I've never had her passcode, never needed it. We trusted each other. Trusted. I pick up the phone. The lock screen shows a photo of our family from last summer. We're at the beach, all 4 of us laughing, Jake on my shoulders, Emma hugging Amanda's leg. We look happy. We look real. I try her birthday. Wrong passcode. I try Emma's birthday. Wrong. Jake's birthday. Wrong. I have one more attempt before it locks me out. I think about the numbers that matter to Amanda. Our anniversary, her mother's birthday, the address of her childhood home in São Paulo. Then it hits me. The address on that Brazilian credit card, the one in São Paulo. I remember the number from the statement, 847. I type 0847. The phone unlocks. My hands are shaking now. I open her messages and search for Lucas. The thread exists, but it's been deleted. Recently deleted, though. It's still in her recovery folder. She must have cleared it after her last conversation with him, but iOS keeps deleted messages for 30 days. I tap to recover the thread. 43 messages appear, spanning the past 6 months. All in Portuguese. All intimate in a way that makes Kevin's explicit texts seem shallow by comparison. These aren't just about sex or leaving me. These are love letters, promises, plans for a future together. Lucas. Quando você finalmente vai deixá-lo? Já esperamos tempo demais. When are you finally going to leave him? We've waited too long already. Amanda. Eu sei, meu amor, mas preciso fazer isso do jeito certo, pelas crianças. I know, my love, but I need to do this the right way, for the children. Lucas. As crianças vão entender eventualmente. Elas merecem uma mãe feliz. The children will understand eventually. They deserve a happy mother. Amanda. Você tem razão. Só mais alguns meses. Prometo. You're right. Just a few more months. I promise. The last message is from yesterday, while I was at the job site, while our kids were at preschool, while I was living my normal life. Amanda. Te amo. Sempre te amei. Ele nunca vai saber. I love you. I've always loved you. He'll never know. But I do know. I know everything. I'm staring at the phone in my hand like it might explode. The messages with Lucas stretch back years. Years. While I was building our business, renovating our house, raising our kids, Amanda was planning her exit strategy with a man in Brazil. A man she's been with longer than she's been faithful to me. If she was ever faithful at all. My thumb hovers over the WhatsApp icon. I need to see those messages too. Need to know the full scope of this nightmare. The app opens. Her chat list appears. Lucas is pinned at the top. Of course he is. I scroll through recent messages, my Portuguese comprehension solid enough to catch every devastating word. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. Or maybe they think the language barrier protects them. Meu amor, I can't wait much longer. You promised after the holidays. Lucas sent that on January 3rd. 3 weeks ago. Amanda's response. I know, but I need to be strategic. Tyler built the business during our marriage. I'm entitled to half. My lawyer says if I leave before securing my position, I could lose leverage. Her lawyer. She has a lawyer. I read it again, forcing the words to make sense. Amanda isn't just cheating. She's been planning this divorce for months, maybe longer, while I've been completely oblivious. While I've been working 60-hour weeks to provide for our family. While I've been in love with a woman who doesn't exist. What about Kevin? Lucas asks in a message from last week. Kevin is complicated. He thinks we have a future together. I've let him believe that because it makes things easier at work. But you know you're the only one I actually love, Mayubem. I have to set the phone down before I throw it across the room. She's playing Kevin, too. Using him. The poor bastard thinks he's special. Thinks Amanda's going to leave me for him, and he's just another pawn in whatever game she's running. How many others are there? How many men has my wife convinced they're the one? My hands are shaking again. I pick up the phone, force myself to keep reading. Documentation. Evidence. That's what matters now. There's a voice message from Lucas, sent 2 days ago. I tap it, hold the phone to my ear. His voice is warm, intimate. The voice of a man who believes he's talking to the love of his life. Amanda, Carita, I've been thinking. I can transfer to the Charlotte office. My company has been asking me to consider it for months. I could be there in 6 weeks. We could see each other every day instead of these stolen moments. Think about it. We could finally be together properly while you work out the divorce details. I love you. Call me. Charlotte office. Lucas works for a company with a Charlotte office. He's not just some distant lover in Brazil. He's planning to move here, to be close to her, while she dismantles our marriage and takes half of everything I've built. I navigate back to her email, search for Lucas's last name, Ferreira. 17 results. The most recent is from 3 days ago. Subject line: apartment options. He sent her a list of apartments in Charlotte. Uptown locations, all of them. 1 bedrooms ranging from $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Places a single guy might rent while pursuing a relationship with a married woman. Amanda's response is brief. The second one looks perfect. Close to my office. Let me know when you sign the lease. Close to her office, so she can see him during lunch breaks, after work, whenever she wants. I'm going to be sick. I stumble to the bathroom, grip the sink. My reflection stares back at me. Same face as yesterday, same face as this morning, but the man behind it is someone different now. Someone whose entire life was a carefully constructed lie. 7 years of marriage, 2 kids, a home we built together, all of it fake. No, not all of it. Emma and Jake are real. My love for them is real, and that's what I need to focus on now, protecting them, protecting myself. I splash cold water on my face, force myself to breathe, to think. Amanda has a lawyer. She's been planning this divorce, timing it to maximize her financial gain. She's been coordinating with Lucas, stringing Kevin along, and God knows what else. But she doesn't know that I know. That's my advantage. The only one I have. I dry my face, walk back to the bedroom. Her phone is still unlocked on the bed, still displaying her messages with Lucas. I need to screenshot everything, but I also need to be smart about this. If she checks her phone and sees screenshots in her camera roll, she'll know someone accessed it. I need to send the images somewhere she won't notice. I open her email, create a new draft. No recipient, no subject line. Just a draft that will sit in her account, invisible unless someone knows to look for it. Then I start screenshotting. Every message with Lucas, every email about apartments, every discussion of lawyers and timing and strategy. I attach each screenshot to the draft as I go, creating a comprehensive record of her betrayal and her plans. 20 minutes later, I'm done. The draft sits in her account, packed with evidence. I'll access it from my own computer later, download everything. I check the time. 3:47 p.m. Amanda said she'd be home around 6. I have 2 hours to finish searching, to make sure I haven't missed anything. I close all the apps on her phone, make sure everything looks exactly as she left it, and set it back on her nightstand. Then I move to her closet. The space is organized, color-coded. Amanda's always been meticulous about her appearance. I run my hands along the shelf above the hanging clothes, feeling for anything hidden. Nothing. I check shoe boxes. Nothing but shoes. Then I notice the Louis Vuitton bag on the top shelf. The one she bought herself last year for her birthday. $1,500 for a purse, which seemed excessive at the time, but she'd insisted she deserved it. I pull it down, unzip it. Inside is a passport. Not her American passport. We keep those in the safe downstairs. This is a Brazilian passport. I flip it open. Amanda's face stares back at me from the photo page. But the name isn't Amanda Brennan. It's Amanda Ferreira. She never changed her name. Not legally, not in Brazil. For 7 years, she's been Amanda Brennan in the US, but in her home country, she's still Amanda Ferreira. Still connected to Lucas's family, maybe, or keeping her options open. I photograph the passport with my phone, every page. Then I put it back exactly where I found it. The closet yields nothing else. I move to her dresser, checking drawers methodically. Underwear, bras, workout clothes, all normal. Bottom drawer. Beneath a stack of old sweaters I've never seen her wear. A box. Small, wooden, with a delicate clasp. I lift it out, open it. Letters. Dozens of them, handwritten in Portuguese, tied with a ribbon. The paper is worn, creased from multiple readings. I untie the ribbon, unfold the top letter. The date is from 8 years ago, before we were married. Mina Amanda, I know you have to go to America for this opportunity, but please don't forget about us. About what we have. I'll wait for you, however long it takes. Our love is stronger than distance. Sempre so, Lucas. 8 years ago. She was with him before she met me, and she never ended it. I was never her future. I was always just the American husband, the meal ticket, the father of her children and the builder of her financial security. Lucas was always the plan. I photograph every letter, my hand steady now. The shock has burned away, leaving something colder behind. Something focused. I retie the ribbon, place the box back under the sweaters, close the drawer. The house is quiet around me. Our home, the one I built with my own hands, literally. I did most of the renovation work myself. Custom cabinets in the kitchen, built-in bookshelves in the living room, the deck out back where we have barbecues in the summer. All of it was real to me. None of it was real to her. My phone buzzes. A text from Amanda. Leaving now? Do you need me to pick up anything for dinner? I stare at the message, at the casual domesticity of it, the performance. I type back, "No, we're good. Drive safe." She responds with a heart emoji. I want to laugh, or scream, or put my fist through the wall I drywalled myself 2 years ago. Instead, I walk downstairs, open my laptop, and access Amanda's email from my computer. The draft is there, packed with screenshots. I download every image, create a new folder on my encrypted external drive. Then I label it. Evidence, Amanda Ferreira. Not Brennan. Ferreira. Because that's who she really is. Who she's always been. I'm staring at the ceiling at 3:47 a.m. when Amanda's phone buzzes on her nightstand. She's asleep beside me, her breathing deep and even. The same woman who kissed me goodnight 3 hours ago. Who told me she loved me before turning off her lamp. I know I shouldn't look. I've already got enough evidence to bury her in court. Brian's meeting is in 6 hours. I should sleep, but I can't. The phone buzzes again. Then a third time in quick succession. Amanda stirs, rolling away from me. Her hand reaches out in sleep, patting the nightstand, but she doesn't wake. The muscle memory of checking messages, even unconscious. I wait. Count to 60. Her breathing settles back into sleep rhythm. I slide out of bed, moving with the careful silence I learned during those early years with newborns. Emma was a light sleeper. Jake would wake if you breathed wrong. I got good at being a ghost in my own house. The irony isn't lost on me. Amanda's phone sits face down on the nightstand. I pick it up, angle it away so the screen glow won't hit her face. 3 messages from Lucas, sent at 3:42 a.m., which means it's 5:42 a.m. in Brazil. My Portuguese has gotten a workout this weekend. Amor, consegue adiantar a transferência. Chego em Charlotte dia 15. Love, I managed to move up the transfer. I arrive in Charlotte on the 15th. Já falou com ele? Precisa resolver isso logo. Have you talked to him yet? You need to resolve this soon. Não aguento mais esperar por você. I can't wait for you anymore. The 15th. That's 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks until Amanda's grand love arrives in Charlotte, expecting what? That she'll have left me by then? That I'll be served with papers, blindsided and devastated while she rides off into the sunset with her Brazilian romance? I screenshot the messages. My phone's camera roll has become a catalog of betrayal. Organized into folders now. Kevin, Lucas, David, financial, legal. Like I'm documenting a construction project instead of the demolition of my marriage. I should put her phone back, go to my home office, add these to the file I'm bringing to Brian. Instead, I open her messages with Beatrice. The last exchange was Friday afternoon before I started recording their calls. I scroll up, translating in my head. Years of conversation. Amanda complaining about me, about Charlotte, about how she never wanted to stay in the States but got trapped. Trapped. By what? Our wedding. Our children. I find a message from 3 years ago, right after Jake was born. Bia, às vezes olho para ele dormindo e me sinto tão culpada. Ele é bom pai, mas não consigo amá-lo como ele merece. Bia, sometimes I look at him sleeping and feel so guilty. He's a good father, but I can't love him the way he deserves. 3 years ago, Jake was a newborn. I was getting up for 2 a.m. feedings, changing diapers, building my business while trying to be present for my family. And she was lying next to me feeling guilty that she couldn't love me. Not guilty enough to stop, though. I keep scrolling. Find another message from 5 years ago when Emma was a baby. Conheci alguém no trabalho, David. Não é nada sério, só... Preciso me sentir viva de novo. Tyler é tão previsível. I met someone at work. David. It's nothing serious, just... I need to feel alive again. Tyler is so predictable. David. 5 years ago? The same David from 8 months ago, or a different one? How many Davids have there been? My hand trembles. I force myself to breathe slowly, quietly. Can't wake her. Can't let her see this rage building behind my ribs like pressure in a sealed container. I scroll further back. 6 years. 7. Find the messages from right after our wedding. Casei, Bia. Sei que você acha que é loucura, mas Tyler vai me dar estabilidade. E posso continuar com Lucas em segredo. Melhor dos dois mundos. I got married, Bia. I know you think it's crazy, but Tyler will give me stability. And I can continue with Lucas in secret. Best of both worlds. There it is. Plain Portuguese, sent to her sister the week after our wedding. The week we got back from our honeymoon in Asheville. When I carried her over the threshold of our first house, the starter home I sold 3 years later when the business took off. She married me for stability, for cover, for the American dream lifestyle while maintaining her Brazilian romance on the side. I wasn't a husband. I was a convenience, a provider, a beard. The phone nearly slips from my hand. I catch it, grip it too hard, have to consciously relax my fingers before I crack the screen. 7 years. Emma and Jake. The house. The business I built while she played house and played around. Every late night at work, every girls' trip, every yoga class and book club and networking event. How many were real? How many were cover stories? I should stop reading. I have enough. More than enough. But I keep scrolling, watching my marriage unspool in reverse through Portuguese text messages. Amanda complaining that I work too much, that I'm boring, that I don't understand her, that she needs more than suburban American life can offer. Meanwhile, I'm reading every word, understanding every complaint, every lie she told her sister about me. Tyler acha que não entendo quando a mãe dele fala mal de mim em português. Idiota. Tyler thinks I don't understand when his mother talks badly about me in Portuguese. Idiot. That stops me cold. My mother never spoke badly about Amanda. Mom loved her, welcomed her into our family, learned to make Brazilian dishes for holidays, took the kids every time Amanda needed a break, unless Amanda means something else. Some conversation I don't remember, misinterpreted through her lens of contempt. Or she's lying to Beatrice, making me and my family look bad to justify her actions. I find a message from 2 years ago. A mãe do Tyler ofereceu dinheiro pra gente comprar uma casa maior. Vou aceitar. Quanto mais bens em comum, melhor pro divórcio. Tyler's mother offered money for us to buy a bigger house. I'll accept. The more shared assets, the better for the divorce. 2 years ago, when Mom helped with the down payment on this house. 20% down, which let us avoid PMI and get a better rate. I thought it was generous. Family helping family. Amanda saw it as ammunition. Another asset to split when she finally pulled the trigger. Has she been planning this divorce for 2 years? Longer? I checked the time. 4:03 a.m. I've been standing here reading for 16 minutes. Amanda hasn't moved, but I need to put the phone back before my luck runs out. I take one more screenshot. The message about the house. About planning for divorce while accepting my mother's generosity. Then I set the phone down exactly where it was. Face down, same angle, same position on the nightstand. I slide back into bed. Amanda shifts slightly, settling against me in her sleep. Her head on my shoulder, her arm across my chest. The position we've slept in for 7 years. Muscle memory. Habit. Certainly not love. I lie there in the dark, her warmth against my side, and I can't feel anything. The rage from a minute ago has frozen into something colder. Harder. She married me knowing she'd leave. Took my mother's money knowing she'd use it against us. Had my children while maintaining a secret life I was never supposed to discover. The only mistake she made was underestimating me. Thinking I was too dumb, too American, too predictable to understand Portuguese, too trusting to look deeper. She's right that I'm predictable. I show up. I work hard. I keep my promises. I built a business on being reliable, on doing what I say I'll do. That predictability is about to work against her. My phone is on my nightstand, loaded with evidence. Brian's office opens at 8. I'll be there at 7:45, first appointment of the day. By noon, I'll have a strategy. By end of week, I'll have papers drawn up. And Amanda will have no idea it's coming, because I'm predictable. I come home every night. I kiss her goodbye every morning. I play with our kids and pay the bills and maintain the life she's been using as a front. Right up until I don't. Lucas arrives on the 15th. 2 weeks from now. Expecting Amanda to be free, or at least working on it. He's going to be disappointed. I close my eyes, listening to Amanda breathe. Feeling her heartbeat against my ribs. 7 years of this. 7 years of lying next to someone who saw me as a means to an end. 2 more weeks of pretending I don't know. Of being predictable. Tyler, boring Tyler, stupid Tyler who doesn't understand Portuguese. Then I'm done. Brian Sutton's office smelled like leather and old books. He'd been my attorney since I started Brennan Custom Homes 6 years ago. Contracts, liability issues, the usual business stuff. But when I walked in at 7:43 a.m. Monday morning with an external hard drive containing 347 pieces of evidence, his expression shifted from friendly to deadly serious in about 10 seconds. "Tyler," he said, looking up from his computer screen where he'd been reviewing the files I'd sent over the night before. "Sit down. We need to talk strategy." I sat. Outside his window, Charlotte was waking up. People heading to work, grabbing coffee, living their normal Monday mornings. I used to be one of them. "First question," Brian said. "Do you want to save this marriage?" "No," he nodded. "Good. Because from what I'm seeing here, there's nothing to save." "Second question. What do you want the outcome to be?" "Full custody of Emma and Jake. The house. My business protected. And I want her to get as close to nothing as legally possible." Brian leaned back in his chair. "North Carolina is an equitable distribution state, not community property. That works in our favor. The adultery is clear and documented. Multiple affairs, including one that predates your marriage and continued throughout. That's relevant for alimony." "She has a lawyer," I said. "She's been planning this divorce for at least 2 years. There are messages about timing it to maximize her take." Even better. Brian made a note. Premeditation, financial strategy, using marital assets to position herself. Did she contribute financially to the household? She works, makes about $70,000 a year. I make $240 from the business, plus project bonuses. And the business was started during the marriage? Year 1. But I can document that I built it with my own capital, my own labor. She never contributed directly, never worked for the company. We'll need forensic accounting to establish that clearly, but it's doable. Brian pulled up a document on his screen. Here's what I'm thinking. We file first, this week. Catch her completely off guard. We ask for full custody based on her infidelity and deception. Judges don't like parents who model that behavior. We get a temporary order for you to stay in the house with the kids. We freeze joint accounts. And we push hard on the adultery angle for alimony. She won't get alimony? Not if I have anything to say about it. North Carolina allows fault-based divorce. Adultery is an absolute bar to alimony if we can prove it. And Tyler, we can prove it in about 40 different ways. Something loosened in my chest. How long will this take? If she fights it, could be a year. But with this much evidence, I don't think she'll fight long. Her own lawyer will tell her she's screwed. Brian looked at me carefully. There's something else. The message is in Portuguese. You're sure about the translations? I'm fluent. My grandmother raised me speaking it. And your wife doesn't know this? She has no idea. Brian smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. That's going to be a very unpleasant surprise for her. Any conversations she had thinking she was safe? All admissible. I'll need you to provide certified translations, but this is gold, Tyler. Pure gold. We spent the next 2 hours going through everything. Brian made lists, asked questions, built the case. By the time I left his office at 10:15 a.m., I had a timeline. Papers would be filed Thursday morning. Amanda would be served Thursday afternoon at her office. The same day Lucas arrived in Charlotte. The irony was too perfect to resist. I went through the motions for the next 3 days. Kissed Amanda goodbye, Tuesday morning. Took the kids to school. Worked my job sites. Came home to family dinners where Amanda talked about her day, and I pretended to care. Wednesday night, she reminded me she had book club Thursday evening. Okay, I said, feeding Jake his dinner. What time will you be home? Probably 10 or so. We're reading that new thriller everyone's talking about. Book club. Right. Kevin's apartment was in Dilworth. I had the address from her emails. Have fun, I said. She kissed the top of my head. You're the best. Thursday morning, I got up early. Made breakfast for the kids, pancakes, Emma's favorite. Got them dressed and ready for school. Amanda came downstairs in her work clothes, grabbed coffee, barely looked at me. Big day? I asked. Just the usual chaos. She checked her phone, smiled at something. Lucas, probably, confirming his arrival time. I'll see you tonight. See you tonight. She left at 7:30. I got the kids to school by 8:15, drove to my biggest job site, and worked until 2 p.m. when Brian texted me. Papers filed. Process server heading to her office now. Should be done by 3. I sat in my truck and waited. Amanda called at 3:47 p.m. I let it ring 4 times before answering. Hey, Tyler. Her voice was shaking. Tyler, I need you to come home, right now. I'm at a job site. What's wrong? Just, please, come home. We need to talk. About what? Silence. Then, you know what? I'm not sure I do. Why don't you tell me? Tyler, please. I'll be home by 6. We can talk then. I hung up. She called back immediately. I declined it. She called again. Declined. Then the texts started. Please call me. This isn't what you think. Let me explain. Tyler, please, I'm sorry. I turned off my phone and went back to work. I pulled into the driveway at 6:23 p.m. Amanda's car was there. So was an unfamiliar BMW with rental plates. Lucas. I sat in my truck for a moment, looking at my house. The house I'd renovated with my own hands. The home I'd built for my family. Then I got out and walked inside. They were in the living room. Amanda on the couch, eyes red from crying. A man I didn't recognize standing by the window. Tall, dark hair, expensive suit. Lucas Ferreira, I presumed. Tyler, Amanda stood up. I know who he is. I set my keys in the bowl by the door. Same bowl I'd used for 7 years. Lucas Ferreira, from São Paulo. Your boyfriend of 8 years. The man you were with before we got married. The man you've been planning to leave me for. Amanda's face went white. How do I know? I smiled. Porque eu falo português, Amanda. Sempre falei. Entendi cada palavra que você disse à sua irmã. Cada mensagem, cada mentira. I speak Portuguese, Amanda. I always have. I understood every word you said to your sister. Every message. Every lie. The look on her face was worth every moment of the past 4 days. Pure shock. Then horror as the implications hit her. She started in Portuguese, then caught herself. You've been spying on me? I've been documenting your adultery, multiple affairs, financial planning to defraud me in divorce, using marital assets to position yourself, all of it admissible in court. I looked at Lucas. Did she tell you she was married when you started sleeping with her? Or did she pretend that part didn't matter? Lucas had the decency to look uncomfortable. She said the marriage was over, that she was only staying for the children. The marriage was never real to her. I've got messages proving she married me for stability while planning to keep you on the side. Best of both worlds, she told her sister. I turned back to Amanda. You got served today. You know what's in those papers. Full custody. The house. Alimony barred because of your adultery. I suggest you get your own lawyer. A good one. Tyler, please. Amanda's voice broke. Let me explain. Explain what? That you never loved me? I know. That you used me? I know that too. That you planned this divorce for years while taking my mother's money and building assets to split? Got that covered. I walked to the stairs. I'm going to pack some things for the kids. They're at my mother's tonight. You have until Sunday to move out of this house. After that, I'm changing the locks. You can't kick me out of my own house. Read the temporary order. Judge gave me exclusive use pending the custody hearing. You want to fight it? Be my guest. Bring all those messages with Lucas to court. I'm sure the judge will be fascinated. I went upstairs, leaving them standing in the living room. I could hear Amanda crying, Lucas speaking to her in rapid Portuguese, trying to comfort her probably, telling her it would be okay. It wouldn't be okay, not for her. I packed a bag with clothes for Emma and Jake, grabbed their favorite stuffed animals, stood in their rooms for a moment, looking at the beds I'd built, the shelves I'd installed, the life I'd created. My kids would be fine. I'd make sure of that. When I came back downstairs, Lucas was gone. Amanda was sitting on the couch, the divorce papers on the coffee table in front of her. 7 years, she said quietly. You understood everything for 7 years? I did. Why didn't you say anything? Because I loved you. Because I thought you loved me. Because I'm an idiot who believed in his marriage. I picked up my keys. I'll be back Sunday to make sure you're out. Don't take anything that isn't yours. I have photographs of everything in this house. Tyler, we're done, Amanda. We've been done since before we started. I just didn't know it. I walked out, got in my truck, drove to my mother's house where my kids were waiting. The divorce took 8 months. Amanda fought at first. Hired an attorney who tried to argue that the business was marital property, that she deserved half of everything, that the adultery was a symptom of my neglect. Then Brian presented the evidence. All 347 pieces. The messages with Lucas going back 8 years. The messages with Kevin and David. The Brazilian passport and her maiden name. The credit card I didn't know about. The voice recordings in Portuguese where she discussed strategy with her sister. The hotel receipts and flight confirmations and letters tied with a ribbon. Her lawyer advised her to settle. She got 15% of the marital assets. No alimony. Supervised visitation with Emma and Jake every other weekend until she could prove stable housing and employment. The house stayed with me. The business stayed with me. My mother's down payment was ruled a gift to me specifically, not marital property. Amanda moved back to Brazil 6 months after the divorce was final. Lucas went with her. I heard through mutual friends that they got married in São Paulo. I didn't care enough to verify it. 2 years later, I'm sitting on my back deck watching Emma and Jake play in the yard. Emma's 7 now, Jake's 5. They're happy, healthy, well-adjusted kids. They video call their mother twice a week, spend a month with her every summer in Brazil. I don't hate Amanda anymore. I don't feel much of anything for her. She's just the woman who taught me that trust has to be earned, not assumed. That love without honesty is just a performance. That sometimes the person sleeping next to you is a stranger. I rebuilt my life the same way I build houses, carefully, methodically, with attention to detail and a solid foundation. I date occasionally, but I'm in no rush. The kids come first. The business comes second. Everything else can wait. My mother asks sometimes if I regret not saying something sooner. If I wish I'd confronted Amanda the moment I found those messages instead of spending 4 days gathering evidence. I don't. Because those 4 days taught me something important. Knowledge is power, but patience is strategy. If I'd confronted her immediately, she would have had time to hide assets, delete evidence, construct a narrative. Instead, I documented everything. Built an airtight case. Protected my children and myself. I'm a contractor. I understand that demolition is sometimes necessary before you can rebuild. That some structures are too damaged to save. That the foundation matters more than the facade. My marriage was beautiful on the outside. Custom finishes, carefully designed, picture perfect. But the foundation was rotten from the start. Better to tear it down and start over than to keep living in a house built on lies. Emma calls to me from the yard. "Daddy, watch this." She does a cartwheel, lands perfectly. Jake tries to copy her and falls over laughing. I applaud. "That was great, sweetheart," she beams at me. "Can we have pizza for dinner?" "Sure, go wash up." They run inside arguing about toppings, pepperoni versus cheese. The usual debate. I sit on the deck I built with my own hands, in the house I fought to keep, watching the sun set over the yard where my children play. This is real. This is solid. This is mine. And I'll never take it for granted again. The moral, if there is one, is simple. Trust isn't about believing everything someone tells you. It's about knowing who they really are. And sometimes the person you think you know best is the one you don't know at all. But when you finally see clearly, when you finally understand the truth, that's when you can build something real.